Okay, awesome. So welcome everyone to the webinar on immigration for iGIP. My name is Cesar Ramirez. For those who don't know me, I'm the current MCP iGIP of AIESEC in France. And before I proceed to start this awesome webinar, okay, so I see you can see my screen. As you can see on the YouTube link, on your right, you will see the chat. So I think you're able to see it now. So there you can write questions in case you have them at the end of the presentation, because during the presentation, I won't be able to see them. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, awesome. So why is it important to know about immigration beforehand? Like, I don't know if all of you are from IJP, finance and legal, and you may be wondering, like, yeah, why is it necessary to know? Like, maybe I can just start as my BP when I already met the opportunity. Maybe before it's not useful to know. Well, I really hope you don't think like that, because it's always useful to know beforehand. Why? Because migration is part of our service. It's a part of what we offer in IJP, both for companies and for the EPs. So we should be able to explain both of them, how we are going to make sure that the trainees that come to France are totally legal and have their do their visa procedure. Their visa procedures is okay. So probably when you go to a sales meeting, the company is going to ask you, so what kind of visa does the inter has to apply to? How do you make sure it's the right visa? How long they can be in France with that visa, etc. So this should be information that you should be able to clarify for your possible opportunity takers. Then for sure, we have to ensure that we follow French migration legalities, because if we don't bring people legally, then we're doing totally wrong, and then that can be very risky for the federation. And another reason is that if we know how the process works, we can know take us to realize an opportunity after matching. So right after you have matched your EP, you are able to tell both the EP and the company how much it will take for the EP to arrive to France and start the internship. And last but not least is having the right visa is one of our standards and satisfaction. For those who don't know what standards and satisfaction are, guidelines that will allow us to, if we provide these minimums, these standards to our EPs, we're making sure that they are having a standardized experience, and it's going to be satisfactory, because this is what we promise them to deliver during the experience. And it is also mandatory according to our XPPs. XPPs are exchange program policies. So we have a set of regulations in AIESEC on what should happen after, during the internship, how the communication should be with the company, with the intern, which are the steps that we need to follow, so we make sure that we are delivering high quality experiences. And probably you may be wondering, so I want to know more about these standards and satisfaction and the XPPs. So we'll have more webinars next week for you to know more about this. So next, a question that, well, everyone thinks that AIESEC is only able to bring interns for 6 months, as according to French law, an internship even for French students should last maximum 6 months. Nevertheless, it is different for AIESEC. So there's a circulaire. Well, you can see here the number of the circulaire. And this circular is about foreigners coming to France for an internship, and it mentions that the situation for foreign internships is different to French interns. For foreign interns is different than for French interns. So initially, an EP can come to do an internship up to 12 months, and it's possible to do a renovation for 6 more months. So in total, an AIESEC internship can last 18 months. In the XPPs, the exchange program policies, an internship can last, the least that it can last is 6 weeks. The longer that it can last is 18 months. So this is great because we can actually deliver internships for the maximum that we are allowed in AIESEC. If you're wondering where you can see more about these regulations, you can find these and more documents at bit.ly/vd documents. So this is a value delivery hub that we been working on, where we have different documents. Some of them I will mention them during this webinar, and they're free for you to use them and consult them. And later on, we will have more documents for sales and matching. So great. All EPs, this is super important, must have student status to do an internship in France, and this is something that we make clear when we publish the opportunity on EXPA, when we open an opportunity on EXPA. So even before interviewing EPs, we make sure that they have a student status and that their university is able to support them in the process to come for a French internship. So before interviewing EPs, make sure that they are aware that they have to be students. If they're not students, then it's not worth it because they cannot come to France. And make sure that the company, the opportunity taker, is also aware that we can only receive students. Great. So now you match your opportunity. So what is next? First, you have to differentiate the status according to the country of origin of your intern. So if your intern is a European Union citizen, then he or she doesn't need a visa. So this is super cool because the intern can come as fast as possible after the match. Nevertheless, as we are required a lot of times to bring people that are fluent in French, and most of the countries that we can match with are Morocco or Tunisia or Canada, for example, because they have more EPs that speak French, then those countries do need a visa. So for European Union citizens, they only need to have their CIS or Convention du Stage signed by them, by their university, by the opportunity taker, and by a legal representative of AIESEC. Who is a legal representative of AIESEC? In your LCs, that is your LCP, your local committee president is able to sign this Convention du Stage. It's not the VP, it's not the opportunity manager, it has to be only the LCP. And for those of you who don't know what a CIS is, or Convención de Stash, this is a document. It's like a kind of contract that defines the activities of the intern during the internship, the length of the internship, the gratification that the intern will receive, and other benefits, and who are the responsible for the intern in the university, in the AIESEC, and in the company. So actually we have a template that we use that we send to all interns. So you don't have to come out with a new one. You can actually find this template and download it at bit.ly/vd documents, which is the link that I previously shared with you. So you need to gather some information before doing this CIS. So the first thing that you will do is send the EP the following link, which is bit.ly/CIS request. So why this link? This is something that we came out with during this year. This request link will allow us to have all the information of the EPs in one place. It will not be on one email that only one person or two people will have, but it's information that all the iGIP members will be able to consult, and it will be there for the next BP, for example. And also notice that European Union citizens should attach their student enrollment certificate, student ID, and passport front page, a scan of the front page of their passport, because these are documents that are later going to be needed in a process that I will talk to you about. So going back to this CIS request link, it kind of works like a Google form, but the cool thing is that well, this is an application in a website that probably you have heard before, which is called Podio. And we have this working place where we have all the CIS requests. And currently, all BPSA EAP are there. They're able to see all these working space. So if you want to be added by your BPI EAP, then go and ask him, or you can also ask him or her, or you can also ask me, and I can add you. Like, just give me your email, and I can add you to this working space. So it's very important that we do this, that we send this link, because we need to have all this information concentrated in one place, as it is also legal information. So this form is asking like different things that you need to fill the CIS, which is the title of the internship, which is the full name of your EP, the gender, the nationality, date of birth, place, as this is information that you will later need for some other procedures, email, phone number, address, information about people responsible at their university, etc. So after you have all this information, then you can download the template for the CIS and you can fill it. And this is how the last page of the CIS looks. This is the page that has to be signed by the university, by the EP, by your LCP, and by the intern. So you can actually send this document field to your EP by email, and you can ask him or her to print it and to sign it and have it signed by university, and then to scan it and send it back to you. Then you print it here, You send this document to your opportunity taker by email. You ask them to print 5 copies, to sign and stamp all of them, and to send them to you by La Poste, to the office of your LC, and then you can have it signed by your LCP. It is very important that the signature of the EP and of the university can be virtual, because it is understandable they are not in France. So it would take really, really long to send them the document and having sent to us. But it is super important that the signature and the stamp of the company is original. Same for the signature and stamp of AIESEC. Okay, so now you have 5 copies of the CIS signed by for the 4 parts. So in case that you have a European Union citizen, you send these 2 copies to the intern, or you can give it to them when he or she arrives to France, and that's all. The intern can start the internship. Nevertheless, for European Union citizens, this is just the beginning. So we have 3 steps that we need to follow in order for them to do the legal procedure necessary to arrive to France and start their internship. The first one is La Direct. The second one is applying for a visa in their countries. The third one is after they arrive to France, they have to apply for a titre de séjour. And I will explain each of these steps. So La Direct is, well, you can see here what it stands for: Direction Régionale des Entreprises, blah, 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 blah. You can find more information about it on this link. So this is the place, or the government institution where all the people that are coming to France to work or to do an internship get approved. So on this link, you will be able to know where is the branch of La Direct in your region where you have to go. And when you go to La Direct, you don't need an appointment. Actually, you can just show up there. They usually work from Monday to Friday from 9 to 12:30. So you need to get them 5 copies of the signed CIS, the strike avis of the company. Probably you have heard about the strike avis. So if you ask the company to send you a copy of the strike avis, they will be able to know what that is. And EP letter of enrollment. So you need to show a copy of the letter of enrollment of the university where the EP studies, a copy of the student ID of the EP, and a scan of the EP passport. So these are all the documents that you need to bring to them. You can actually send them by La Poste, but I don't recommend you this. I rather recommend you to go there and to do the to bring them the documents in person, because sometimes that takes less, and it gets the CIS gets approved in around 1 to 4 weeks. It really depends on La Direct and the person that has to approve it. So once the Direct approves this the CIS, they keep 1 copy for themselves, and they have to give you back 4 copies. So these 4 copies, one of them is kept by AIESEC in France by your LC. One of them is given to the company. One of them is for the EP, and one of them is for the university. So make sure that you give the one that is kept by your LC to your VP Finance or your LCP, whoever is responsible of gathering all the legal documents in your LC. And the next step will be sending the following documents to your EP. So your EP doesn't live in the European Union, so I recommend you rather to send these documents by DHL, by FedEx, by UPS, so whatever service you choose, but not by conventional mailing, because it will really take a long time to arrive and you don't want to waste time. So you need to send the EP two approved copies of the CIS, the Attestation d'Hébergement, which is a document that your LC should make, stating that AIESEC in your city, well, the name of your LC, is able to host the EP for the length of the internship. This is not necessarily true. This doesn't mean that your LC will host the EP forever and ever in the place that you are stating. But this is something that you need to show. Later, the EP, when he or she arrives to France, they can look for accommodation. So there's actually a template for the attestation d'hébergement at the link that I already told you, bit.ly/bd documents. A proof of address. So this is, for example, a quittance du loyer. So you need someone from your LC to provide you with the attestation to sign the attestation d'hébergement and the quittance du loyer, and you need a copy of the ID of the legal representative that's signing the attestation. Perfect. So next step is your EP will receive the documents, and the next thing is to apply for French visa. So the visa that your EP needs to apply is the long séjour visa. So make sure that before you speak with your EP and you explain them all the procedures by Skype, for example, and he or she goes to the website of the French embassy in the country that they're living, and they consult how the procedure works, because it may change from one country to another. So when you're going to La Direct, well, right after the matching, make sure your EP starts doing research on how exactly the process works. And when the CIS is approved by La Direct, the EP asks for an appointment at the embassy, because these can probably take a lot of time to get an appointment. So the company, besides the documents that you already sent the EP, they may ask for certificate of studies, this letter of enrollment, the passport for sure, probably the birth certificate, and some other documents. And this is information that they can see at the website of the French embassy in their countries. So after they apply for the visa procedure takes from 1 week to 4 weeks, 1 month. So especially with countries like Morocco, Tunisia, Algeria, and Colombia, for example, the experience that we have had is that the procedure takes 1 month. So make sure that you that the company, your opportunity taker, is aware that it will take some time to get the EP, that the procedure doesn't sometimes doesn't take short. In other countries, for example, for Mexico, I know that the procedure takes only 1 week. So yeah, this is how the visa that of your EP should look like. It should say long séjour or stagiaire. So right, your EP already has a visa, so he or she can come to France. Yay! But this is not the last. This is not the last step. there's one last to do, which is getting the titre de séjour. This is a very simple procedure. So after your EP arrives to France, right after, don't wait more than 1 or 2 weeks. They must send the following documents to their nearest office. So the office is the Office Français de l'Immigration et l'Intégration. Usually, the embassy, along with their visa stamp and their passport, they send them the demande d'attestation of the office, which is a document that they have to fill. And in this document, on the back, they can see which is their nearest office, depending on the city that they're living at, and the address where they have to send this document. And they also need to send a copy of their French visa, the information page of their passport, and the page where they got the stamp when they arrived to the Schengen space. So remember, the Schengen space is these countries in the European Union that where you don't need a passport to get from one to another. For example, maybe one of your VPs arrived to Spain or to before coming to France. So they get a stamp in Spain and Germany, and even if they took a flight from Spain to France, they don't get a stamp in France. So this is a stamp that they need to scan and send. And after this, they will get back by email or by post an appointment for a medical visa. And they will see which is the date and time that they need to show up to the office. So make sure that the company also knows that they will need to skip one morning to go to do this procedure at the office. So they need to get with them the following documents: the passport with well, for sure with the visa that they got, attestation, again, attestation d'hébergement. I already explained you what the attestation d'hébergement is, and the copy of the ID of the hébergement, of the person that is signing the attestation d'hébergement, a passport size picture where the following regulations. In this picture, they cannot be smiling, they should not have a hat, no glasses, with white background. It should be 3.5 centimeters by 4.5 centimeters of, and they need to pay 58 euros. They can actually consult, do this payment online, and they need to bring a proof of this payment. So they're at the office during the appointment. They get the medical. They have a medical test, and after that they get the following document stamped on their passport, which is the vignette, and this is how it looks like. So probably when the EP arrives, some companies ask already for the titre de séjour. So tell them that this is something that will take some time, because after they send it to the office, it can take up to 1 month to receive an answer. So and something very important to keep into consideration and to inform your EP about is that they can go around the Schengen space, or they can go out of the Schengen space during the 3 previous months after the 3 months after their arrival to France. They can come and leave France without having the vignette. But if it's 3 months already of their arrival to France, they cannot go out of French territory if they don't have this vignette on their passport. So this is super important. So okay, let's say that your EP, well, the company, your opportunity taker, tells you that they want the intern to stay in the internship for 6 more months. So then you have to do a renewal. So, for example, if the intern has been there for 6 months, they can renew for up to 12 more months. If they have been there for 12 months, they can renew for up to 6 more months. So make sure that 3 months previous to the end of the internship, you consult the company to make them know that they can have a renewal, the intern can last longer, and yeah, this procedure should be done with 3 or 2 months maximum in advance. So how the renewal looks like, the first step is going back to La Direct. So for this, you need to do an avenant, and avenant is a document that kind of looks like the CIS. So this is a document where you state which are the changes that will be done to the internship, whether it is a different gratification or a different length, or the internship will be taking place in other city in France. So you have this template in the link that I have provided you before, bit.ly/BT documents. And again, you need to make 5 copies, and they need to be signed by the EP, by the University of the EP, by the company, and by AIESEC. So the first thing to do is to send this by the University of the EP. They can print it, sign it, send it, scan to the EP. The EP prints, sign it here. It's signed by the company. The company sends it to you by post, and you get it signed by your LCP. Then you go to La Direct, and you need to bring the 5 copies of the avenant, plus an original of the CIS, a scan of the passport, the visa, and the titre de séjour, again the strike avis of the company. And a new requirement, you need to ask your EP for bank statements of previous 3 months, proving that he or she has received a gratification of at least 650 euros per month, which shouldn't be a problem because our interns get around 800 euros per month. So you get all these documents to La Direct. They they last around 1 to 4 weeks to get them approved, and later you can provide you keep 1 copy of the avenant, 1 more is for the company, and the other 2 are for the University of the EP and for the EP. And the EP should get an appointment at the nearest office, and they need to bring, besides the 1 copy of the avenant, they need to bring the original passport and a copy of the passport and the visa and titre de séjour, birth certificate, original and translated to French, attestation d'hébergement. So this time they can, as they will be living in another place different to the first attestation d'hébergement that you provided them, they can have attestation d'hébergement that is from the place that they're staying at. So make sure that your EPs get these documents from the person that they're renting their place to, and an ID for copy of the person that is signing this document, a proof of address. It can be a bill, electricity bill, quittance du loyer. As I told you, the CIS and their bank statements for the previous 3 months, proving a minimum of 615 euros. So they last the process lasts around 1 month to get their new titre de séjour. So make sure that your EPs do it on time. So now we can go questions. So in the in the chat on your right, you are able to post your questions. If you don't have any questions, you can just say, I don't have questions, it was clear. Anyways, this webinar is being recorded, so later I can provide you the link so you can give it to your members, to your VPs, etc., and you can use it as training. So I'll give some time so you can write your questions. Okay, thank you, Hiva. I'm glad that it was clear for you. So thank you very much for your attention. I really hope this can be super useful for you. Have a nice evening, and we'll be delivering more value delivery webinars. Oh, well, before that, I have to share something with you. Don't go away yet. I have to share something really cool that I have been working with my NST, NICTE. It is guideline on immigration, and I will show it to you right away. It's just loading. So yes, this is how the value delivery hub looks like. You have all these documents. Here's all the documents for immigration. You have here the template for the attestation d'hébergement, avenant de convention, CIS. CIS translated to English, the formulaire du demande for the OFI, the law that I told you about, and here's the immigration booklet. So here you have all the steps that I already told you, very well explained. Here you have all the links I told you about. All the countries don't require visa. It's super specific. You can find all the information here, how to do the visa extension, everything. And you can have here my contact and my NST NICTE's contact. So thank you again for staying, and have a nice evening. Thank you, Laure, for staying here. I'm glad that it was clear for you. Bye bye.